Hidden beneath frozen mountains, far from civilization, lies a facility the world was never meant to see. A place built to operate in silence, sealed by ice, secrecy, and steel. Massive gates open slowly, their rusted warnings barely visible, as if even the metal itself hesitates to reveal what's inside this restricted zone. Armed guards move with purpose through the snow, trained dogs at their side, every step reinforcing that nothing enters or leaves without permission. A convoy of black vehicles cuts through the fog, headlights piercing the cold air, carrying cargo destined for a transformation few ever witness. From above, the factory reveals itself like a mechanical organism, breathing steam into the frozen sky, alive in isolation. Red laser scanners sweep across steel and glass, reading, measuring, approving, no detail left unchecked in this high-security world. With a heavy metallic thud, locking mechanisms seal shut, cutting off the outside forever and committing everything inside to the process. Inside, a sterile corridor stretches endlessly forward, lights flickering softly as the camera drifts deeper into controlled territory. Workers in hazmat suits march in perfect rhythm, faces hidden, identities erased, each movement guided by strict protocol. Boots strike metal grates below, echoing through the facility, every step signaling the beginning of something irreversible. An airlock door opens and steam floods the space, cleansing all traces of the outside world before entry is granted. Through a fogged visor, breath slows, vision narrows, and the laboratory ahead emerges from darkness. A scientist pauses, clipboard in hand, framed against towering machinery, fully aware of the responsibility carried within these walls. Above them all, cameras rotate silently, tracking every motion, recording every second, forgetting nothing. Latex gloves snap tightly into place, a final ritual before confronting the source itself. The laboratory opens wide, revealing towering glass tanks filled with glowing blue liquid, humming with controlled energy. Behind reinforced glass, a giant python moves slowly, its powerful body coiling with quiet dominance under artificial light. The snake's eye locks forward, unblinking, intelligent, reflecting both captivity and ancient instinct. Carefully, workers lift the massive python using metal hooks, tension filling the room with every controlled movement. Placed upon cold steel, the snake coils tightly, its natural patterns forming perfect geometry, nature engineered to perfection. A red laser scans across the scales, measuring length, density, and value, reducing something alive to data. Without warning, the python strikes the glass, raw power exploding forward, a reminder that beneath the process, this was once a living force. The transformation begins with precision, as a blade moves carefully, separating material with clinical accuracy and absolute control. Slowly, the skin pulls away, elastic and heavy, revealing the first irreversible step of the process. Water rushes over the surface, washing away all traces of origin, leaving only raw potential behind. Droplets collide and scatter, every splash a moment of cleansing, captured in deliberate slow motion. The skin is carried forward on steel rails, disappearing into darkness, guided by machines that never pause. Inside the chamber, ultraviolet light scans every fiber, judging quality, strength, and uniformity. Sorted and stacked, the skins move through human hands once more, organized with practiced efficiency. Digital tools press and measure, converting organic form into exact data and tolerances. Massive steel vats churn violently, foam and motion combining in a relentless cleaning cycle. From above, the skins swirl endlessly, hypnotic patterns forming in white and motion. Bubbles rise and burst across the surface, small reactions signaling deep chemical work beneath. Below the waterline, the skins drift slowly, suspended like shadows under piercing light. Lifted once more, water cascades away in sheets, gravity reclaiming control. The centrifuge roars to life, spinning weight and moisture apart with mechanical force. As rotation peaks, water is expelled completely, leaving the material ready for its next evolution. The heart of the facility awakens as massive wooden drums rotate in unison, blending tradition with industrial power. From below, the scale of the machinery dominates the space, each rotation echoing with purpose and weight. Valves open and chemicals pour in, triggering a transformation that will permanently alter the material. Steam erupts and fills the air, blurring the line between process and atmosphere. Time accelerates as workers move rapidly, feeding the system that never slows. Gears grind and turn, metal working against metal, a steady rhythm of controlled force. The drums finally stop, releasing dark, treated leather, heavy with moisture and promise. Skins are hung carefully, gravity drawing out excess liquid as patience takes over. The camera moves through rows of hanging material, a maze of texture and motion. Water drips steadily from the ends, marking time with every drop. Machines pull the leather tight, stretching strength and flexibility into its structure. Under tension, the scales reveal depth, each pattern becoming more pronounced. Heat lamps ignite, bathing the space in warmth and controlled energy. Time passes quickly as color shifts and moisture disappears, the material stabilizing. With a sharp release, clamps open, signaling the end of another crucial phase. The process enters a new stage as the skins are lowered into boiling white solutions, stripping them down to a blank foundation. Before the eye, color fades completely, scales turning pale as chemistry rewrites their identity. Pigments are mixed carefully, vibrant powders dissolving into liquid energy, preparing the next transformation. The white skin disappears beneath the surface, and color spreads outward, alive and unstoppable. At a microscopic level, pigment settles deep between the scales, locking color into the material forever. Lifted slowly from the bath, the skin drips rich color, excess liquid falling away in heavy streams. Rows of dyed skins glide forward, suspended like banners of color, each one uniquely finished. Powerful air rushes across the surface, setting the dye and stabilizing the newly formed tones. Automation takes over as a robotic arm lowers, charging a laser with surgical precision. A focused beam burns into the leather, carving patterns that no human hand could replicate. Glowing edges form instantly as microcuts slice through with flawless accuracy. Multiple machines work together, synchronized movements turning refinement into choreography. As smoke clears, etched designs emerge, sharp, deliberate, and permanent. Lasers flash through the darkened room, painting the space in pulses of red and light. Sparks scatter in slow motion, a final burst of energy marking the end of this phase. The final surface work begins as rotating wheels meet leather, friction slowly awakening a hidden shine. Heat builds gently where material and motion collide, transforming texture through controlled pressure. Under magnification, rough scales soften, reflections forming as the surface reaches perfection. Across the workshop, repetition takes over, hands and machines moving in practiced harmony. Wax is applied carefully, each circular motion deepening color and smoothness. Light glides across the leather, reflections flowing like liquid metal across every contour. An inspector studies the surface closely, rotating it beneath intense light, searching for flaws. A single finger moves across the scales effortlessly, confirming the finish by touch alone. Now, precision coating begins as a fine metallic mist fills the air. Gold particles settle gently onto dark scales, catching light and elevating the material to luxury. The leather passes through ultraviolet light, sealing the surface in glowing energy. A shifting holographic layer forms, color changing with every angle and movement. Protective film peels away slowly, revealing a flawless final surface beneath. Finished skins hang proudly, glowing under bright lights, each one complete. The camera drifts across color, texture, and detail, marking the completion of refinement. With precision and patience, patterns are laid across the leather, every placement calculated to waste nothing. A sharp blade glides forward effortlessly, separating material with clean, confident motion. At the edge of the cut, fibers part smoothly, craftsmanship visible even at the smallest scale. Each piece is sorted carefully, sleeves, panels, and collars organized with practiced discipline. From above, every component rests in perfect order, the jacket mapped before it exists. A serial number is stamped into the lining, marking identity, authenticity, and traceability. Bundles move forward along the line, carried toward the next stage of creation. The sewing floor hums softly as hundreds of machines wait, ready for assembly. Needles punch through thick leather in rapid rhythm, power and precision working together. Thread pulls tight with every stitch, locking strength into the seams. Hands guide curves carefully, shaping form and structure with steady control. Metal teeth align as the zipper is sewn in, function meeting design. Fine dust lifts with each impact, frozen briefly in the air before settling. Time compresses as separate pieces merge, the jacket taking shape before the eye. Loose threads are trimmed away, small imperfections erased in silence. Metal meets leather as each stud is set firmly in place, every strike deliberate and exact. A branded metal plate is secured carefully, marking the piece with its final identity. Adhesive is applied along the hem with patience, ensuring structure and longevity. Steam rises as seams are pressed flat, heat shaping the jacket into its final form. The inner lining slides smoothly into place, hidden craftsmanship completed with care. Hands test every pocket and zipper, confirming strength, balance, and function. The finished jacket hangs silently, its silhouette revealing the result of countless steps. A price tag is attached, transforming craftsmanship into a luxury product. White-gloved hands lift the jacket for inspection, posture focused and unwavering. A magnifying lens searches every stitch, every edge, every detail. Under extreme scrutiny, the leather reveals flawless texture and alignment. With a quiet nod, approval is granted, the piece officially accepted. The jacket moves along overhead rails, flowing smoothly toward its final destination. Carefully folded with soft tissue, it is prepared for presentation. Placed inside a black luxury box, the journey nears its end. The box closes slowly, sealing craftsmanship, time, and precision inside a moment of silence. A silk ribbon tightens gently, a final touch that signals exclusivity and care. Finished boxes move with purpose, loaded securely for their journey beyond these walls. The armored truck rolls forward, leaving the facility behind as the sun sets on the mountains. Darkness falls, then suddenly, light floods in, shifting the story from industry to art. A model slips into the jacket, adjusting the collar, the transformation now complete. The zipper rises smoothly, each tooth locking with confidence and intent. Under neon rain, water beads and slides across the leather, untouched and resilient. The camera circles slowly, revealing the jacket's form from every angle. Light fractures across raised scales, texture and power captured in motion. From below, the stance commands attention, strength framed by precision tailoring. The brand mark gleams against the leather, subtle yet unmistakable. In slow motion, the jacket moves naturally, alive with every step. One final hero shot isolates the piece, elevated from material to masterpiece. Words appear, honoring the journey behind the product. The screen fades to black, leaving only the process, the craft, and the legacy behind.
This is where innovation meets aspiration, a space designed not just to sell, but to inspire a deep belief in the power of movement. Each pair stands here like a masterpiece, crafted to be observed, admired, and eventually lived in as part of your personal journey. Before motion begins, intention is revealed. The box itself carries decades of meaning, holding a silent promise of what lies inside. Every small movement builds anticipation, and even the silence in this room feels carefully designed to let you focus on the discovery. The reveal is never rushed, because true perfection deserves patience. We slow down time to honor the respect that craftsmanship demands. At the smallest scale, dedication becomes visible. Every thread is aligned with the strict discipline of true craftsmanship and focus. Numbers fade as quality comes into focus, creating value defined not by cost, but by the true purpose of the object. Weight, balance, and intention meet the hand. This is a product designed to respond instinctively to the natural mechanics of your body. Across streets filled with ambition, confidence travels step by step, transmitting a sense of capability with every single stride you take. Under neon skies, rhythm takes over, and movement syncs naturally with the city's pulse, guiding you smoothly through the night. In quiet mornings, stability grounds every stride, creating a moment where the heritage of the past meets the demands of modern life. Time accelerates around us, but the product remains constant, anchoring your motion in reliability regardless of how fast the world spins. Reality dissolves into abstraction, inviting curiosity to look beneath the surface and discover the deeper layers of what is possible. Paths stretch across continents, with each line tracing a global network of effort, responsibility, and the immense reach of our vision. Long before the spotlight, there was effort. This is the discipline formed in silence, years before the world ever saw the result. Speed captures determination here. The design looks fast even when standing still, preserving the history of motion in physical form. Every scar tells a story of progress. Innovation is built from the friction of trial and error, and the grit to try again. Great ideas often begin at home. This is where creativity feels most personal, where the dream is raw, unprotected, and real. Innovation flows from curiosity, turning the question of what if into reality through the relentless process of experimentation and design. Anticipation hangs thick in the air. It is that specific electric charge in the lab right before a breakthrough solution is found. What emerges is more than material. We aren't just looking at fabric, but at pure possibility, given a physical shape. Resistance gives way to intention. True craftsmanship is the art of coaxing material into a new form without breaking its spirit. Past and present aligned seamlessly, evolving the design language without ever forgetting the origin story that started it all. Ideas take form through repetition. Creativity is a muscle, refined by the persistence of doing it over and over again. One symbol carries global meaning, born from a single, confident stroke. It is now a language understood in every country on Earth. Identity rises from imagination. The legacy we see today was shaped years ago by those who dared to see something different. Collaboration fuels innovation. It is the harmony of many brilliant minds coming together to refine one singular purpose until it is sharp. Every texture tells a story of function. The design is guided by a responsibility to protect the athlete and endure the elements. Touch confirms the quality that eyes might miss. When you press into the material, it pushes back with resilience and strength. Confidence appears with every line. In the digital blueprints, designers imagine the future clearly, constructing it pixel by pixel. Perspective refines intention. By stepping back to observe the whole, a perfect visual and functional balance is finally achieved. Technology preserves creativity, ensuring that the creative idea travels from the mind to the factory floor without losing its soul. Precision defines the digital form. In this space, there is no room for error, allowing engineering to support imagination. Details decide greatness. A millimeter here or there makes the difference, as small adjustments ultimately shape peak performance. Creation moves from concept to reality. The anticipation builds quietly in the background as the digital file becomes a physical object. Layer by layer, structure emerges. Like nature, the form is built slowly. Patience forming the strength that will support the body. Heat signals completion. Temperature acts as the catalyst. And finally, a prototype is born. Rough, raw, but alive. Sustainability enters the process. Responsibility to the planet is not an afterthought, but a core principle shaping the future. Color becomes motion. Vibrant hues represent raw energy, turning static dye into potential flowing forward into the production line. Transformation happens under pressure. It is a moment of chaos, guided by absolute control to fuse distinct materials together. Speed stretches material into purpose. Flexibility is not accidental. It is engineered into the very weave by the machines. Order replaces randomness. Consistency is achieved, ensuring that every single unit matches the gold standard required for performance. Thousands of threads become one. Precision weaving creates the unique identity of the shoe, merging individual fibers into strength. Strength hides inside elegance. Seams disappear by design to improve aesthetics while maintaining the toughness required for the road. Scale reveals discipline. Looking down the line, there is a beautiful harmony found in the repetition of thousands of hands working. The upper rests, waiting for its final form. It sits on the line, ready to be joined with the soul to realize its purpose. Precision moves forward without pause. Every piece advances inch by inch, getting closer to the moment it gains its final identity. Light scans for perfection without emotion. In this game, lasers ensure accuracy, leaving absolutely no room for assumption or error. Automation handles softness with intelligence. Technology has learned to respect the flexibility of the material, handling it with surprising care. This floor breathes with synchronized purpose. It is a complex dance where human intuition and machine precision move as one unit. Craft begins where focus becomes discipline. Human hands step in to guide what machines cannot feel, the texture and the tension. Every puncture is deliberate and controlled. Strength is built into the structure without sacrificing the integrity of the design. The swoosh is formed through patience. Each individual stitch reinforces not just the brand identity, but the trust placed in it. Experience confirms what data cannot. Approval is earned through the seasoned judgment of a master craftsman who knows the standard. Invisible strength is added silently. Support is engineered to be there when you need it, without serving as a visual distraction. Heat teaches material to remember its shape. The transformation is sealed through a controlled, calm cooling process that locks it in. Form finally meets function. The shoe begins to recognize itself as a complete object, ready to face the world. Contours lock into intention. Comfort is not a luxury. It is shaped through the absolute precision of the mold. Uniformity reflects mastery. Every pair looks exactly like the last. And this consistency is the ultimate proof of reliability. Power waits within steel. The heavy molds sit ready, prepared to shape the rubber that will eventually control motion itself. Material flows like intention. The energy of the heat is captured and controlled to create the perfect grip for the road. Pressure completes the promise. It is brute force delivering the final delicate form that the designer imagined. Creation reveals itself through steam. The mold opens, and a soul is born from the discipline of chemistry and timing. Design meets performance at the surface. Grip is engineered through complex geometry to hold the road in any condition. Inspection is constant. Eyes are watching at every station because excellence is demanded. It is never just assumed. Cooling brings stability. Patience allows the molecular structure to settle, letting the final strength set into the rubber. Air becomes innovation here. Lightness is engineered through rigorous science, injecting foam to defy gravity and absorb impact. Pressure expands possibility. Comfort takes a physical form that you can see and feel, ready to support every step. Transparency reveals confidence. There is nothing hidden in the performance. The technology is visible for all to see. Each line is now stripped down to the core message, perfect for a slow, dramatic reading over your clips. Precision replaces force, achieving perfect balance. Seals disappear, holding everything together, unseen. Rhythm defines production, sustaining the factory's heartbeat. Two journeys align. Upper meets sole in suspension. Bonding requires perfect timing and chemistry. Alignment decides everything. Exact placement, no correction. Heat activates intention, fusing materials for life. Fusion happens beyond sight, finalizing structural integrity. Pressure finalizes identity, nothing left to chance. Steam fades, revealing a recognizable silhouette. Touch confirms truth, strength and comfort in harmony. Presentation elevates creation. Design revealed clearly. Flexibility proves resilience, validating performance instantly. Stress tests confirm trust and durability. Comfort is measured in motion and real-time response. Nothing escapes inspection. Standards enforced through discipline. Cleanliness reflects respect. Every detail honored. Approval marks completion and official readiness. Readiness stands in formation. Perfect consistency achieved. Final refinement polishes perfection for the journey. Symmetry completes presentation. Order reinforcing value. Form preserved with care for the journey ahead. Identity returns to origin. The brand frames the experience. Closure signals transition. Creation becomes product. Scale expands. Movement prepares to travel globally. Light opens the path. The world awaits. Movement continues, carrying purpose to the world. Scale reveals readiness, aligned before sunrise. Security seals effort, time, and trust. Across open water, intention travels powered by belief. Every wave reminds us that progress is earned. Steel giants dance with balance and elegance. Momentum shifts to land, rolling forward without pause. Freedom stretches across the horizon, guided by direction. The city rises. Anticipation grows quietly. Arrival demands precision. Timing is everything. Doors open, revealing effort fulfilled. Calm precedes excitement. Preparation shaping experience. Order transforms emptiness into connection. Every detail earns its place with respect. Light completes the transformation. The stage is set. A new day begins. Energy slowly awakening. Expectation gathers. Excitement building without noise. Anticipation lives in small movements before release. Connection forms, and a community grows. Silence holds tension. Final control before momentum. The moment opens, patience rewarded. Curiosity replaces waiting. Discovery begins immediately. Choice surrounds intention, framed by clarity. Decision pauses time. Instinct guiding action. Commitment feels satisfying. Identity confirmed. Ritual returns full circle, echoing the origin. Connection deepens through touch, emotion meeting design. Comfort reveals itself, fit becoming confidence. Balance tightens, control achieved on pavement. The first step confirms truth. Movement feels natural. Pride appears quietly. Validation felt
There you
internally.
go. Have a wonderful day.
Shared approval strengthens belief, multiplying experience. Completion
Thank you for
sounds
your
simple,
purchase. Enjoy.
marking the transition.
I will, thank you.
Trust exchanges hands. Value acknowledged. A new chapter begins. Ownership becomes identity. Confidence carries forward. Movement is now personal. Expression finds rhythm. Joy amplified through motion. Impact meets protection. Performance responding instantly. Freedom stretches with breath. Stride syncing with purpose. Support proves timeless. Comfort without age. Stories merge. One constant connecting all. Power lands with grace. Strength controlled. Purpose. Onward to confidence. Speed and presence are bonded by achievement. Legacy settles into silence. Movement continues everywhere. Within Crest's advanced industrial intake zone, raw materials enter a controlled environment where precision, cleanliness, and scale come together to begin a carefully engineered transformation. With mechanical precision, the transport vehicle tilts slowly, releasing its load as trained personnel oversee every movement inside Crest's strictly regulated facility. In dramatic slow motion, raw bones descend through the air, colliding and breaking as gravity pulls them toward the next stage of refinement. From within the pit, the scale of the operation becomes clear as materials surround the space, emphasizing the power and control of Crest's industrial process. Automated gates respond instantly, guiding materials forward with flawless timing, ensuring nothing moves without purpose or direction. Hydraulic systems activate smoothly, applying controlled force to move materials ahead, demonstrating Crest's balance of strength and precision. As materials transfer onto the conveyor, illuminated pathways guide them forward, signaling the beginning of a continuous, carefully monitored journey. Beneath the surface, rotating mechanisms bear the load effortlessly, supporting the flow with engineered stability and endurance. The conveyor carries the materials onward as fragments shift and settle, every motion calculated, every detail accounted for. Stretching far into the facility, the conveyor reflects Crest's commitment to scale without compromising cleanliness or control. Robotic systems align perfectly overhead, preparing for the next phase with exact synchronization and flawless timing. Powerful streams activate instantly, stripping away impurities and revealing cleaner surfaces beneath controlled force. As residue washes away, purity begins to emerge, signaling the transition from raw material to refined input. Rows of freshly cleaned material move forward, the environment reflecting Crest's signature standard of purity and precision. Ahead, intense heat awaits, marking the shift from cleansing to transformation within Crest's tightly controlled process. Warning systems glow softly as the furnace prepares, signaling a high-energy phase governed by exact parameters. The furnace opens to reveal controlled intensity, where extreme heat is carefully harnessed for refinement, not destruction. Materials transition seamlessly onto heat-resistant supports, moving steadily toward the heart of transformation. As they enter the flames, surfaces react instantly, beginning a fundamental change under precise conditions. Inside the furnace, impurities are eliminated, leaving behind only what meets Crest's strict material standards. Color shifts reveal progress as raw elements become purified, their structure evolving under controlled heat. Internal systems maintain perfect balance, circulating energy evenly to ensure consistency throughout the process. Emerging from heat, the transformed material cools gradually, its purity now clearly visible. A single fragment demonstrates brittleness, confirming the successful completion of thermal refinement. The cooling phase stabilizes the material, preparing it for the next step without compromising integrity. Airflow systems maintain balance as temperature normalizes, protecting the refined structure. Ahead, industrial grinders await, ready to convert refinement into usable form. Control systems activate, signaling the transition from thermal processing to mechanical precision. Massive components begin moving, their power restrained by Crest's exact engineering standards. As fragments approach contact, anticipation builds for the moment refinement becomes powder. Steel meets material, releasing clouds of fine white powder that signal successful transformation. Within the chamber, controlled force breaks down structure, while preserving purity. The resulting powder flows smoothly, uniform and consistent, meeting Crest's exact specifications. Settling gently, the powder reflects the success of every step before it. Automated systems seal the material securely, protecting its purity for the next stage. Guided by intelligent transport, The container moves forward, glowing pathways leading it onward. Laboratory doors open to reveal a sterile environment where formulation and science converge. The journey continues inside the lab, where precision chemistry will transform purified material into Crest toothpaste. Inside Crest's pristine laboratory, the journey continues into a space where absolute cleanliness meets advanced scientific control, setting the foundation for trust and performance. Robotic systems move with deliberate care, gently securing the sealed container, ensuring the refined material remains untouched and uncompromised. As the lid opens, a soft cloud of white powder rises momentarily, catching the light before settling, a visual symbol of purity and preparation. The powder flows effortlessly into a crystal-clear chamber, guided by gravity and precision engineering, working in perfect harmony. Rows of identical mixing chambers stand aligned, showcasing Crest's ability to deliver the same flawless quality at industrial scale. Digital control panels glow to life, translating complex chemistry into real-time data that guides every microscopic adjustment. A lab technician observes calmly, confident in a system where human expertise and automation work as one. A robotic pipette descends with exact timing, carrying a measured dose essential to the toothpaste's effectiveness and safety. The glowing blue liquid meets the white powder, triggering a carefully controlled reaction that begins the transformation process. From above, motion begins as internal paddles rotate smoothly, blending elements into a unified composition. Stainless steel mixer blades turn steadily, folding ingredients together with strength, balance, and consistency. For the first time, the toothpaste texture reveals itself, glossy, smooth, and refined, signaling successful formulation. The chamber walls flex subtly as the mixture thickens, demonstrating elasticity and ideal viscosity. Additional ingredients enter with precise synchronization, enhancing performance without disrupting balance. Each material is scanned and verified instantly, ensuring only approved components move forward. Fine. Particles disperse seamlessly into the paste, leaving no clumps, no imperfections, only uniformity. The mixture evolves into a flawless, reflective surface, designed for comfort, protection, and confidence. Across the lab, multiple mixers operate in harmony, each delivering the same high Crest standard. A digital temperature gauge stabilizes, confirming ideal conditions for long-term product integrity. Cooling systems activate quietly, maintaining balance without interrupting the flow. Testing equipment approaches with calm precision, ready to validate texture and performance. A thick strand stretches smoothly before separating, confirming perfect viscosity and control. The paste settles gently into the beaker, holding its shape without splatter or waste. The technician gives a subtle nod, approval earned through measurable perfection. Lighting shifts softly as the process transitions from formulation to production. The finished formula begins its journey forward through sealed transfer systems. Inside the transparent conduit, toothpaste flows effortlessly, protected and pristine. Pressure valves adjust automatically, maintaining smooth, uninterrupted movement. The laboratory opens into manufacturing, continuity preserved through intelligent design. Polished machinery stands ready, awaiting the perfected formula. A subtle Crest emblem appears, reinforcing trust without distraction. The flow pauses briefly, controlled pressure building in silence. With perfect timing, the valve opens, releasing the toothpaste forward. For the first time, the formula enters the tube-filling corridor, marking a new phase. Support systems activate beneath the line, preparing synchronized motion. Empty white tubes approach, clean, uniform, and ready to be filled. Filling nozzles lower into position. Anticipation, building with precision. The production line stands fully synchronized, ready to transform science into Crest toothpaste. A massive roll of glossy laminate stands at the heart of the production floor, carrying Crest's identity across its surface, waiting to be shaped into trust. With controlled motion, the roll begins to unwind, Crest's colors flowing smoothly through the frame with perfect alignment and confidence. The laminate travels forward into the forming system, guided by synchronized rollers that pull it ahead with absolute precision. Alignment sensors scan each passing logo, making invisible adjustments to guarantee flawless branding at speed. Steel arms activate in harmony, folding the flat material inward, transforming it step by step into a hollow tube. The edges meet perfectly, heat sealing instantly into a seamless white form, purity locked into structure. Fresh Crest tubes rise upright, bright and pristine, their branding crisp and unmistakable. The empty tubes rotate slowly on a circular carousel, presented like finished products even before filling. From above, perfect spacing and symmetry reveal manufacturing discipline, refined to perfection. A single tube locks gently beneath the filling system, secured with care, ready for its transformation. Inside the transparent nozzle, 3 separate channels hold red, white, and blue paste in perfect balance. The streams begin to flow, merging smoothly into a single striped motion that feels almost hypnotic. The combined paste descends into the tube, stripes remaining sharp, promising performance and precision. From the side, the tube fills steadily upward, pressure balanced, air eliminated without disturbance. Inside, the glossy surface rises smoothly, reflecting light with a premium, finished feel. Across the line, multiple nozzles fill rows of tubes together, efficiency matched with consistency. Sensors verify the fill level instantly, a green signal confirming perfection without compromise. The filled tube releases gently and glides forward, motion calm and controlled. Conveyors carry the filled Crest tubes towards ceiling, reflections shimmering across clean, white plastic. At the crimping station, metal jaws move rhythmically, heat building anticipation. The tube's base enters the jaws, plastic softening precisely under controlled temperature. With a smooth press, the seal forms cleanly, a soft breath of steam marking completion. The crimp cools instantly, edges crisp, structure secure and flawless. Sealed tubes stand upright once more, branding centered and confident. A robotic arm lifts a finished tube with balanced strength and care. Under inspection lights, the tube rotates slowly, the Crest logo passing with quiet authority. A UV scanner sweeps across the surface, coatings briefly glowing under advanced verification. A bright green confirmation appears, signaling approval without hesitation. The robotic arm places the approved tube back onto the line with perfect control. Dozens of finished Crest tubes flow together, production rhythm smooth and unbroken. The camera moves alongside the line, showcasing alignment, cleanliness, and precision. Guide rails adjust automatically, maintaining perfect spacing without slowing movement. Overhead lights highlight each Crest logo briefly, like moments of recognition. The production line opens toward the testing zone ahead, atmosphere shifting subtly. Safety markings pass by, reinforcing discipline, control, and responsibility. A single tube pauses briefly at the gate, tension held in silence. The gate lifts smoothly, granting permission to proceed. Powerful testing machines come into view, standing ready to challenge every tube that enters. The reinforced testing chamber comes alive as Crest toothpaste tubes arrive, surrounded by thick industrial walls and intense white light, setting the stage for the ultimate challenge. A massive hydraulic press looms overhead, its polished steel reflecting the Crest logo below, building tension in a space designed for absolute truth. The press begins its descent slowly, shadows tightening as precision machinery closes in, every millimeter controlled and deliberate. Under pressure, the tube compresses visibly, plastic flexing with strength and resilience, refusing to crack or fail. At peak force, toothpaste bursts smoothly from the cap, a glossy white arc frozen in time, dramatic yet perfectly controlled. The paste lands cleanly against a clear shield, spreading evenly without splatter, its premium texture fully intact. The press retracts calmly as the deformed yet unbroken tube rolls aside, the test ending in quiet confirmation. A robotic arm collects the tested tube and redirects it toward recycling, responsibility built into every outcome. Another Crest tube is secured tightly within a mechanical squeezing rig, clamps aligning with surgical precision. The rig applies repeated pressure from multiple angles, the tube rebounding smoothly each time without damage. Up close, the surface reveals no cracks, no stress marks, branding pristine despite extreme force. The rig releases the tube, sending it forward as the conveyor resumes its steady rhythm. In a bright lab setting, a scientist prepares for performance testing, toothbrush in hand, Crest tube nearby. Toothpaste flows onto the bristles in a perfect ribbon, glossy and smooth, signaling controlled formulation. A stained yellow stone waits on the platform, rough texture and discoloration clearly visible. The brush makes first contact, paste spreading evenly as anticipation builds. Circular brushing begins, gentle, foam forming as brightness increases with each motion. Stains lift and dissolve under close inspection, transformation unfolding in real time. Half the surface gleams white while the other remains stained. Undeniable visual proof of effectiveness. Final strokes reveal a fully clean, sparkling white surface, light reflecting with clarity. The scientist pauses, inspecting the result with confident satisfaction. Stone rotates slowly under bright lights, flawless from every angle. Beside it, the Crest tube stands proudly, cause and result clearly connected. Multiple tested tubes line up on a steel table, pristine and reliable, ready to move forward. Approved tubes return to the main conveyor, merging seamlessly back into production. The line splits ahead toward packaging, efficiency and order guiding the flow. Automated gates direct each tube precisely. Mechanical intelligence at work. Tubes glide smoothly into the packaging zone. Cardboard and machinery waiting ahead. Packaging systems power up. Robotic arms unfolding in synchronized motion. A robotic arm grips Crest-branded cardboard, texture and color rich and premium. In one smooth movement, the cardboard snaps into a perfect box shape. Inside the box, a Crest tube slides in gently, snug and protected. Multiple arms operate together, forming and filling boxes in rhythmic harmony. Box flaps seal cleanly, edges crisp, finish flawless. Sealed boxes move forward, glossy surfaces catching the light. Ahead, the heat tunnel glows softly, plastic wrap ready to secure the product. Boxes enter the tunnel as the wrap tightens smoothly around them. They emerge wrapped and reflective, Crest logos sharp and pristine. Stacks of wrapped boxes move toward palletizing. Warehouse scale coming into view. A robotic palletizer arm lowers gracefully, lifting Crest boxes with strength and... The robotic palletizer glides into motion, lifting multiple Crest boxes at once, combining raw industrial strength with calm, deliberate grace. From a low angle, the arm lowers its load onto the pallet, every edge aligning perfectly as precision replaces noise. The boxes settle firmly, shrink wrap shimmering under warehouse lights, signaling readiness for the journey ahead. A second layer stacks seamlessly, the arm rotating fluidly, turning logistics into choreography. A barcode prints and applies instantly, transforming stacked boxes into a traceable promise of reliability. A green indicator lights up beside the pallet, quietly confirming completion and approval. The warehouse reveals itself in scale, rows of finished pallets stretching outward in organized calm. An electric forklift approaches smoothly, reflections sliding across the polished concrete floor. The pallet lifts effortlessly, suspension adjusting as weight transfers. With quiet confidence. Moving forward, the forklift travels a long aisle, Crest branding repeating like a rhythm of trust. From above, the turn is graceful and controlled, logistics executed with intention. Close to the ground, wheels roll across markings, texture and motion grounding the moment. Loading bay doors rise, daylight flooding in, marking the transition from factory to world. Outside, the forklift approaches a waiting Crest truck, sunlight catching metal and motion. The truck doors open with precision, hydraulic systems responding in silence. The pallet slides inside smoothly, guided without resistance or waste. Inside the truck, pallets secure themselves, safety designed into every mile. The truck pulls away as doors close, one chapter ending, another beginning. At sunrise, the truck moves along the highway, Crest's logo glowing with purpose. From the air, it travels through a waking city, carrying consistency forward. Arrival at a modern distribution center continues the flow without pause. Inside, automated systems unload pallets, mirroring factory precision once more. Boxes glide along conveyors, scanners flashing green with approval. Sorting systems redirect each box, reach expanding toward countless destinations. In a retail stockroom, Crest arrives neatly, order preserved to the end. A box opens carefully, revealing pristine toothpaste tubes inside. On the shelf, tubes are placed perfectly, labels facing forward with confidence. The fully stocked shelf stands bright and balanced, brand presence unmistakable. A shopper's hand enters the frame, human choice meeting engineered trust. In slow motion, the tube lifts from the shelf, becoming the hero. It settles into a basket, a decision made with quiet certainty. Now, at home, the tube rests on a clean bathroom counter in soft light. The cap twists. Open with a subtle click, readiness revealed. From a low angle, the tube rises as a hero, logo-centered and proud. It rotates slowly, light tracing its contours with elegance. Up close, the Crest logo reveals detail, texture, and authority. Tube and toothbrush rest together, balanced and complete. A soft halo forms around the tube, freshness made visible. A drop of water splashes nearby, purity frozen in time. The Crest tube stands alone against white, confident and clean. The cap seals shut with precision, trust locked. In stillness, the journey completes, from raw material to a product trusted every day. Out of pure white light, a single Crest toothpaste tube emerges, centered and calm, standing as the result of precision and trust. The camera moves closer as light glides across the tube, revealing a smooth surface shaped by care and intention. At the edge of the cap, every ridge appears perfectly formed, a tactile reminder of attention to detail. The tube rotates gently, Crest's colors catching the light in sequence, confident without excess. Tiny droplets form on the surface, freshness suggested through subtle realism rather than words. From below, the tube rises against a soft gradient, quiet dominance filling the frame. The background begins to flow, transforming into abstract white motion, symbolizing purity and protection. Light shapes itself into flawless enamel-like forms, a visual promise of healthy smiles. Beside the tube, a toothbrush rests naturally, ready and clean, part of a daily ritual. Once more, toothpaste flows onto the bristles, a perfect ribbon formed without effort. Up close, the texture reveals itself, smooth, refined, and consistent to the core. Light passes through translucent forms, sparkling softly, suggesting freshness and confidence. The tube and brush float together in simplicity, modern design meeting everyday use. A gentle motion in the light adds life, calm energy without distraction. The Crest logo fills the frame, crisp and bold. Authority, earned through reliability. The camera pulls back, revealing the tube surrounded by a soft halo, the hero revealed. Reflection aligns beneath it, symmetry reinforcing precision and balance. The tube completes its rotation and settles forward, intentional and assured. At the seam, the finish is flawless, manufacturing excellence implied without explanation. Positioned thoughtfully in frame, the tube feels composed, professional, complete. Cool highlights build softly around its edges, separating form from space. The cap clicks shut with certainty, a quiet moment of reliability. Abstract white waves flow outward, protection spreading beyond the product itself. From above, tube and brush align perfectly, clean geometry expressing clarity. The background blooms gently, while the product remains sharp, focus unwavering. Printed text reveals raised detail, craftsmanship visible at the smallest scale. Ambient light increases slowly, signaling completion and confidence. Subtle sparkles glint briefly, polish without exaggeration. Tube and toothbrush stand together, balanced and ready, advertisement perfect. Now the tube stands alone, timeless against pure white. The frame holds steady, allowing trust to settle in silence. Pastry chef glazes chocolate mousse, mirror shine glinting under soft lights. Delta prep station immaculate, precision in every movement. Delta Kitchen in Atlanta bustling with hundreds of American chefs, stainless steel gleaming, synchronized workflow, energy and scale captured. Wok flames flare as chef tosses shrimp and vegetables mid-air, sizzling oil droplets suspended, skill and intensity highlighted. Cantaloupe peels spin on industrial conveyor, skins curl perfectly. Delta Airlines logo visible, efficiency emphasized. Chefs plate shrimp appetizers with tweezers, microgreens and edible flowers placed precisely, focus and craftsmanship shown. White-coated chef spins in air shower tunnel, high-velocity jets remove dust. Hygiene and futuristic cleanliness emphasized.
That's it.
Chef Felipe Hempe tastes soup, nods approvingly. Kitchen gleams behind him, skill and quality captured. Carrots cascade into washing bin. Water droplets sparkle. Delta, kitchen bustling with motion and efficiency. Bell peppers tumble in industrial washer. Vibrant red, yellow, green pop under bright light. Freshness and texture emphasized. Hands peel and carve dragon fruit and asparagus. Artistic precision. Clean kitchen. Ultra-realistic detail highlighted. Kitchen floor moves like clockwork. Crates transported efficiently. Workers synchronized. Scale and rhythm highlighted. Knife slices strawberry. Seeds glint. Moisture droplets sparkle. Vibrant textures and freshness emphasized. Steam rises from massive curry vat. Chef stirs. Rich aroma implied. Stainless steel kitchen glistening. Shrimp sizzle on flat-top griddle. Chef flips with precision. Steam rises. Energy and skill showcased. Potato patties drop into hot oil on conveyor. Splash captured. Industrial precision and rhythm emphasized. Chefs crack eggs into metal rings. Yolks settle perfectly, steam rising. Attention to detail. Highlighted. Liquid egg whites pour into molds. Perfect circles form. Assembly line efficiency and workflow emphasized. Chef checks yellow sauce in metal tub, swirls gently, steam rising, meticulous care highlighted. Chicken sausages extruded onto trays, hands adjust them. Industrial perfection and consistent workflow shown. Pasta sheets cut on conveyor. Vibrant yellow contrasts blue belt. Precise shapes and quality maintained. Croissants roll toward massive oven. Steam rises lightly. Golden bakery warmth. Ultra-realistic texture highlighted. Brownie batter poured into trays. Glossy texture. Smooth motion. Precision and craftsmanship emphasized. Baked brownies dusted with cocoa. Powder clouds rise. Rich texture and visual appeal highlighted. Senior chefs taste dishes, nodding approvingly. Delta foil trays on table. Professional evaluation emphasized. Chef tastes sausage, subtle scrutiny. Flavor and texture carefully considered. Quality control shown. Cool. Spoon scoops mashed potatoes, steam curls. Texture rich and inviting. Culinary detail highlighted. Chef gives thumbs up. Professional pride, approval shown. Bright lighting emphasizes the moment. Aerial view of Delta facility. Trucks lined up. Employees moving efficiently. Polished tarmac reflects sunlight. Animated map shows flight routes expanding from Atlanta and JFK. Glowing lines illustrate Delta's network. Butcher slices beef tenderloin in cold room. Precision and care emphasized. Stainless steel environment highlighted. Flight attendant pours champagne in first-class cabin. Reflections sparkle. Elegance and luxury emphasized. Grilled shrimp placed into trays. Vibrant and fresh. Gloved hands handle with care. Attention to detail. Worker applies barcode to Delta meal tray. Labeling precise. Workflow and consistency maintained. Trays move into spiral cooling machine. Water vapor rises. Industrial. Efficiency highlighted. Worker checks tray temperature with infrared gun. Display glowing. Careful quality control emphasized. Robotic arms place trays on high shelves. Scale and efficiency highlighted. Futuristic warehouse environment. Inside cold storage. Racks stacked high. Blue light accentuates order. Organization and precision emphasized. Workers pipe cream into dessert cups. Smooth repetition. Precision and industrial rhythm emphasized. Sandwich assembly line. Meat and cheese placed quickly and accurately. Workflow efficiency highlighted. Golden sample plate ensures consistent plating. Attention to detail maintained across the line. Rice and curry portioned into economy trays. Steam rising gently. Consistency and quality emphasized. Business class meal plated on fine china. Steak and vegetables arranged perfectly. Refinement and care highlighted. Flight attendants slide trays into convection oven. Smooth motion. Metallic. Surfaces gleaming. Workflow maintained. Economy and business passengers seated. Cabin calm. Delta branding subtle. Service environment immersive. Omelets flipped in metal rings on galley stove. Golden brown perfection. Steam rising. Culinary skill emphasized. Chefs plate salads with microgreens and edible flowers. Vibrant greens. Attention to detail highlighted. Galley trolleys lined up. Delta logos visible. Polished metal reflects light. Organization emphasized. Flight attendants arrange wine glasses. Crystal gleaming. Elegance and care emphasized. Sauce drizzles over steak. Textures rich. Slow motion emphasis on culinary detail and refinement. Desserts plated in galley. Chocolate mousse and berries. Hands place elements carefully. Precision highlighted. Delta attendants serve meals down aisle. Synchronized. Professional. Cabin calm. Service excellence emphasized. Catering truck moves across tarmac. Delta plane in background. Polished vehicle. And sunlight reflections highlighted. Galley cart locks in place. Metallic click. Precision and smooth motion emphasized. Soft lighting highlighting workflow. First class dessert. Plated. Berries. Flowers. Chocolate decoration. Care and attention to detail. Futuristic. Industrial atmosphere emphasized. Hand scans Delta tray barcode. Screen confirms checked. Precision and technology workflow highlighted. Trays move from cold storage to galley prep. Smooth motion, efficiency and synchronization emphasized. Chocolate drizzle flows over dessert cups. Glossy texture, slow motion highlights visual appeal and detail. Chefs add garnish to appetizers. Microgreens and flowers placed with precision. Care emphasized. Kitchen staff move crates efficiently. Teamwork and workflow seamless. Industrial environment highlighted. Industrial mixer kneads dough. Flour dust rises. Texture and movement emphasized. Bakery process highlighted. Croissants enter tunnel oven. Steam rises. Golden perfection captured. Warmth and craftsmanship emphasized. Brownie batter pours into tray. Rich chocolate. Smooth motion. Precision in bakery process emphasized. Chefs inspect plated meals. Subtle adjustments. Consistency and quality maintained. Workflow emphasized. Vegetables placed in trays. Steam rising. Vibrant colors and culinary precision highlighted. Flight attendant slides meals into oven. Metal glinting. Smooth motion. Professional workflow emphasized. Trolleys lined up. Delta logo prominent. Efficient galley setup. Organization and order emphasized. Tray leaves oven. Steam rising. Textures rich and inviting. Attention to detail emphasized. Utensils aligned on trays. Forks, knives, spoons gleaming. Consistency and precision emphasized. Delta 1 service begins. Attendance synchronized. Soft lighting. Luxury experience emphasized. Passenger peels foil from economy tray. Steam rising. Textures vivid. Realistic culinary detail emphasized. Steak cut. Juices glistening. Cooked perfectly. Rich texture and flavor emphasized. Plane climbs above clouds. Golden sunlight streaming. Serene Delta journey emphasized. At 300 kilometers per hour, one mistake can erase control on massive motorcycle racing circuits. What looks like asphalt is a system of science, heat, and precision built for extreme speed. From the air, these massive motorcycle racing circuits seem calm, but every millimeter below decides survival. This is not just a racetrack. This is engineering in motion. Now, let's begin the journey. At 300 kilometers per hour, speed stops being thrilling and starts becoming physics, where grip is the only thing holding riders to reality. Here, the tire barely kisses the asphalt, yet that tiny contact patch carries enormous force, pressure, and responsibility. From above, the circuit looks peaceful and controlled, hiding the chaos that unfolds on the surface below. What you race on is not just asphalt, but a layered system built to absorb, distribute, and control extreme energy. Flatness is tested long before racing begins, because even millimeters can change stability at high speed. Every stone in this surface is engineered to interlock, creating grip that resists heat, stress, and time. Before any race exists, machines move together in rhythm, building precision through coordination and discipline. This track's shape follows physics, not creativity, designed to guide speed safely through every curve. Once a military runway, this ground has evolved, transformed from launching aircraft to launching velocity. Riders lean until gravity almost wins, trusting the surface beneath them with absolute faith. As temperatures rise, materials soften, and grip becomes a delicate balance between control and loss. Even under brutal rain, engineered drainage keeps the surface alive, proving that grip is never accidental. A wider track allows multiple racing lines, but each line adds stress, heat, and pressure to the asphalt beneath. At full speed, overtakes look fearless, yet every move depends on invisible grip holding the tires in place. Under extreme heat, asphalt can fail silently, as bitumen rises and begins to bleed across the surface. That glossy shine is dangerous, turning engineered grip into something unpredictable within seconds. When traction disappears, physics takes control, and even the best riders have no margin left. Gravel traps exist for this moment, absorbing energy and protecting lives when the surface gives up. At this level, damage cannot wait, and repairs begin immediately to restore trust in the track. From above, the circuit is stripped bare again, resetting the surface so that engineering can start fresh. Every great circuit begins as a simple line, where experience guides the hand before machines ever touch the ground. Digital models bring that line to life, revealing forces and stresses invisible to the human eye. Engineers focus on corners first, because water, speed, and danger always meet there. In simulation, mistakes appear safely, long before they can threaten real riders. Every number on these screens represents balance between grip, safety, and performance. Rain is never an afterthought. Its path is designed long before the first storm arrives. Virtual laps allow engineers to feel the track before it exists, refining ideas without risk. Telemetry confirms whether theory survives reality, turning data into confidence. Collaboration transforms individual knowledge into a single, precise solution. When planning fades into soil, engineering leaves the screen and becomes real. Before precision can exist, nature must step aside, making room for engineered control and purpose. From above, the land looks empty and raw, waiting for structure, direction, and intent. Topsoil is pushed away first, removing organic layers that cannot support speed or weight. Wet earth is stripped down carefully, exposing what lies beneath years of growth. In hours, green fields disappear, replaced by a blank canvas of possibility. Old concrete is broken apart, erasing past function to prepare for something faster. Rubble is collected methodically, because chaos has no place in precision work. Loaded trucks leave the site, carrying history away, piece by piece. A clear corridor appears. Slopes are shaped gently, defining how water and momentum will behave. The ground is compacted firmly, tightening the earth beneath future forces. From the air, the track's curves emerge, carved directly into the land itself. Strong foundations begin with the right soil, placed carefully to support everything above it. Each layer is spread evenly because uneven ground creates invisible weaknesses later. The texture of this soil matters, uniform and clean. Built to carry extreme loads, heavy rollers vibrate relentlessly, forcing air out and strength in. Even as daylight fades, the work continues because stability cannot be rushed. Corners are shaped with intention, banking designed to balance speed and force. Multiple machines work together, maintaining consistency across the entire track. Compression locks particles together, turning loose earth into a solid base. Under artificial light, imperfections reveal themselves clearly. Geotextile fabric separates layers, protecting the structure from contamination. Drainage systems are buried quietly, preparing for storms yet to come. The finished subgrade now flows smoothly, ready to accept the next layer. Laser tools confirm precision, ensuring the foundation meets exact specifications. Steel forms the skeleton of the track, giving strength to everything that will follow above. Each reinforcement grid is placed carefully because alignment defines durability. Sunlight passing through steel reminds us that even hidden strength has structure and order. Every wire tie matters, transferring forces cleanly across the surface. At night, the grid waits silently, ready to receive its final weight. The concrete pump extends outward, bringing controlled power to a massive task. Wet concrete flows heavily, carrying the future of speed in every movement. Workers guide the mix precisely, because uneven concrete cannot be corrected later. Human hands and machines work together, turning control into accuracy. Laser-guided screeds erase imperfections, leaving nothing to chance. Vibrators release trapped air, increasing strength where it cannot be seen. Long finishing tools smooth the surface, transforming raw material into precision. The concrete stretches forward endlessly. Quiet now, but critical forever. Power trowels polish the surface, sealing strength into form. As the sun sets, the concrete cures, locking the foundation of speed in place. Everything begins with raw materials, stone and binder, waiting to be transformed into performance. Racing asphalt is a precise formula where aggregates, bitumen, and polymers bond for grip. Unlike ordinary roads, racing surfaces sacrifice comfort to gain control at speed. Each sample is weighed carefully, because balance defines consistency across the track. Compression testing reveals how the asphalt will behave under extreme force. The mixing plant stands like a factory of precision, feeding science into motion. Aggregates rise through conveyors, starting their journey toward controlled speed. Inside the mixer, materials churn violently, forming strength through heat and motion. Molten asphalt drops into trucks, carrying energy locked at high temperature. Steam rising from the load signals heat that must be preserved. The asphalt is sealed and protected because temperature loss means performance loss. Trucks roll toward the circuit, delivering science to the surface where speed lives. Every racing surface is built in layers, each one carrying a specific responsibility under speed. The first load of hot asphalt arrives, timing critical as heat begins to escape immediately. The paver moves forward slowly, laying a clean black path where raw ground once existed. Inside the machine, augers spread the mix evenly, preventing weak points from forming. The screed defines thickness precisely, shaping strength millimeter by millimeter. Steam rises aggressively, reminding crews that temperature controls everything. From above, machines move in sequence, a paving train built on coordination and trust. Steel rollers compress the base layer, tightening structure and stability beneath. Water sprays continuously, keeping steel clean while asphalt stays workable. At the edges, skilled hands finish what machines cannot reach. The second layer follows smoothly, reinforcing the system beneath the surface. Multiple pavers work together, ensuring uniformity across the full track width. While still hot, seams disappear, turning separate lanes into one continuous surface. The final surface layer may be thin, but it decides everything about grip and control. This mix is engineered to bite hard, holding tires steady at extreme lean angles. Thermal imaging reveals heat spreading evenly, confirming perfect paving conditions. Temperature checks are constant, because even a few degrees can change performance. Dark clouds gather quickly, threatening to undo hours of precise work. Operators stay focused as rain begins, protecting the process without slowing down. Raindrops vanish instantly on contact, turning heat into thick white steam. Inside the cabin, visibility drops, but control and timing remain exact. The crew accelerates their rhythm, racing cooling temperatures and incoming rain. Rubber tire rollers knead the surface gently, locking grip into the final layer. From the air, the finished curve stands out sharply against vibrant green land. At the micro level, the surface is tight, uniform, and free of weakness. As the sun breaks through clouds, the track reflects success against the odds. The new surface rests quietly, curing with time as strength develops beneath the silence. A small testing robot moves forward steadily, scanning smoothness with mechanical precision. Live data appears instantly, confirming consistency across the racing line. Grip is measured scientifically here, removing guesswork from performance. A test car pushes the limits carefully, validating trust in the surface below. Red and white curbs are installed, defining boundaries where control meets aggression. Safety systems rise alongside the track, completing protection without distraction. Grid markings are painted cleanly, signaling order before competition begins. From above, the entire facility reveals itself, unified and ready for speed. A tire crosses the line, compressing perfectly against engineered grip. Racing returns at full intensity, speed finally meeting preparation. As the sun sets, the circuit stands complete, a balance of science, strength, and motion. In New York, every snip starts a new life. This wig's journey begins right here today. From one fallen strand, a fresh story forms, collected carefully, never treated as waste again. Sealed, tracked, and loaded fast, NYC Hair is moving forward with real purpose now. The highway opens wide, the trucks roll ahead. Now, let's start the journey together. In New York City, the clippers begin the story, each strand falling like silk in bright light. Gloved fingers sweep the cape clean, saving every little fiber that catches the shine. On the busy floor, fresh cut hair scatters everywhere. This is where the journey starts. The barber sweeps it all into the black bin marked collect hairs, careful and precise. The lid clicks shut and the pile settles. Small beginnings, big transformation ahead. A pickup sheet gets checked off. NYC Salon Collection, officially on the move now. In a Brooklyn alley, workers sort the hair into sleeves, sunlight cutting through dusty air. A black bag gets tied tight, tag fluttering. Raw human hair, sealed and ready. Bags stack neatly by the brick wall, waiting like cargo with a purpose. They're lifted into a white van, tailgate clinking. Real work, real motion. From the driver's seat, New York City rolls ahead. This shipment keeps moving forward. Inside the van, straps hold the bags steady as the road hums beneath. A New Jersey fuel stop, quick refill, bright sun on the van, no delays. Documents slide into the door pouch, barcode visible, tracked, logged, and secured. At airport cargo, the sealed bags shift into containers, handled with practice speed. A tag prints Los Angeles. The label peels smooth. Destination locked in. The container glides on a belt toward loading. Shadows sharp, scale cinematic. The plane lifts off over the coastline. Now the real journey is in the air. In Los Angeles, cargo unloads to a white truck. Morning light clean and crisp. A drone follows the truck through sunlit boulevards. Palms swaying, city alive. Close on the tires, rubber rolling fast. Sunlight flashing off metal rims.
Okay,
The
easy
truck
now.
reaches the
Watch
factory
clearance on
gate.
the left.
The guard raises
Set it
the
down right
barrier
there.
without
And bring the
hesitation.
next one up.
Clipboard check, ID scan, light turns green, and the shipment is cleared. The sign shines. Wig Wonderland Manufacturing, Receiving, bright and official. At the dock, the truck reverses in, lights blinking, workers ready to unload. Doors swing open, dark interior meets bright daylight, dust floating like sparks. Workers step inside with headlamps. Cartons stacked high. This is where magic begins. The pallet jack slides under raw hair lot A, wheels rolling smoothly as the load moves forward. A forklift lifts the pallet cleanly. Safety lights blinking, motion controlled and premium. The forklift enters a massive bright warehouse. Skylight beams striping the floor in clean lines. Top-down view. Pallets sit in perfect lanes. Floor markings keeping everything organized. POV scan. Green laser hits the barcode. Beep. This batch is now fully logged. A bold stamp lands. QC. Required. Fresh ink signaling strict quality control. A box cutter slices the tape cleanly. Cardboard fibers sharp in bright light. The box opens. Raw hair in clear sleeves, neatly coiled with a silky gloss. The sleeves are placed into a stainless tray labeled inspection, sterile, and bright. Wide Dallas sorting hall. Rows of women in blue uniforms and hairnets work in calm rhythm. Close up. The supervisor checks a color chart and nods. Standards stay consistent. Hands separate tones. Jet black, espresso brown, honey blonde into labeled bins. A bundle gets gently shaken. Tiny debris drifts away in the bright air. Under a magnifying lamp, cuticle alignment looks crisp. Quality is obvious up close. On the table, short hairs in a defect tray, long strands aligned in clean rows. Carts roll between stations, polished floors reflecting bright movement. Tags go on. Color 1B, Color 2, Color 613. Identity locked in. Sorted bundles seal inside clean mesh bags, ready for treatment. In a Miami lab, a technician in a white coat measures solution into a glass beaker. Macro pour. The liquid falls like a smooth ribbon. Reflections razor sharp. A digital pH meter glows. Numbers settle. Balanced, safe, consistent. A glass rod stirs the mix. A controlled vortex forms. The mixture pours into warm water. Bubbles rise and foam blooms. A digital timer starts. Every step is precisely timed. On the treatment floor, bundles dip into steaming vats. Bright steam glowing upward. Hair lifts out. Water dripping in beads like pearls on silk. Stainless pipes and gauges shine. Temperature steady. Process controlled. Inside the washer, hair tumbles gently in suds. Droplets clinging to the glass. The drum slows. Water drains through a channel, clean and smooth. A high-pressure rinse blasts through bundles, splashes sparkling in bright light. Water beads slide down aligned strands, revealing a healthy, glossy shine. Wet bundles clip onto hooks and glide forward on the conveyor. They enter an orange glow drying tunnel. digital readouts shining bright. Warm light passes through the strands. The hair looks translucent and silky. Bundles emerge lighter and airy, texture soft and clean. In the drying room, rows sway under fans as skylight fills the space. A worker tests dryness with a gentle pull, perfect tension. At the hackle station, the bundle taps metal spikes, aligning into perfection. Strands glide through fine combs as short hairs fall away, and the long lengths align into one clean direction. The aligned hair settles onto a white mat, flowing smoothly like a soft curtain under bright light. Lengths are checked on the ruler board, and 18-inch and 20-inch stay clearly visible throughout. A length band is tied firmly around the bundle, and the tag flutters as the hair stays perfectly neat. The bundle is placed on the digital scale. Red numbers flicker quickly, then settle into a steady reading. The weight is entered into the tablet, and inventory line items update instantly to match the batch. The wefting room works in steady rhythm. Blue uniforms moving with focus under bright task lighting. Hair feeds into the wefting machine smoothly, forming a clean track as the line stays perfectly straight. The needle drives through the weft line, and the thread locks tight to build a strong, durable base. Thread spools spin fast, while the tension wheel turns, metal surfaces shining under the clean overhead light. A finished weft rolls onto the conveyor, uniform in thickness, glossy in texture, and ready for assembly. A gloved hand runs along the seam, feeling for firmness, while the track stays smooth and consistent. Multiple wefts stack into a tray labeled Wig Unit Set, arranged neatly like a premium kit. A 3D head wireframe appears on the tablet, and the hairline map is drawn with a soft UI glow. The hairline curve is refined point by point, shaping a natural front edge with balanced symmetry. Lace is cut into a clean pattern, edges crisp and even as the shape matches the design. Fine mesh lace is held to the light, and the delicate grid becomes clear and perfectly uniform. The lace is positioned on the cap mold, pins placed evenly so the tension stays smooth. Fine stitching secures the lace, tiny seams forming a clean base that looks flawless up close. Elastic bands are sewn inside for fit, with neat seams designed to sit comfortably and secure. A tiny hook pulls one strand through the lace grid, magnifier light glowing over the delicate mesh. A microscopic knot tightens cleanly, locking the strand in place so it won't slip or shed. The cap rotates slightly, and the knot pattern continues in perfect spacing across the surface. Rows of workers stay focused under magnifying lamps, steady hands building each wig with patience. A density chart is checked, and the crown area is adjusted to keep the volume balanced. The front hairline is ventilated, lighter, creating a soft, natural look that mimics real growth. The completed wig unit lifts from the mold. Lace edges clean, smooth, and ready for styling. A brunette wig is curled with heat, soft steam rising as the curl forms and holds shape. Curls are clipped to set, metal clips catching the light while the pattern stays even. Long red hair is straightened, turning into a mirror gloss sheet that reflects clean highlights. A wide brush glides through the hair, creating silky movement and a soft, airy volume. Blonde highlights are painted onto brown hair, creamy strokes blending smoothly into a natural gradient. Foils wrap the sections carefully, metallic shimmer flashing as each fold seals the color in. The ends dip into pink dye, and the water swirls like ink, rich and bright. The rinse reveals a clean pink ombre, droplets falling in bright beads along the strands. Warm air lifts the hair gently, drying it into a glossy, smooth finish with soft bounce. A blonde wig is combed to check shedding. Inspection light bright and focused on every strand. The shedding tray stays nearly empty, and the wig passes the check with a clean result. Length is verified on the mannequin. Tape numbers crisp as the hair falls perfectly straight. The lace front is examined under light. Knots uniform and consistent across the entire edge. Conditioning mist floats through a light beam, droplets sparkling as they land and add shine. The wig turns slowly on the stand, hair moving like soft silk with a natural swing. A hairnet slides on neatly, holding the style snug while keeping the lace edge protected. The wig is placed into a branded box, tissue folded perfectly to keep everything smooth. The box seals with a branded sticker, pressed flat so the package looks premium and secure. In Chicago, pallets fill the bright warehouse, workers moving fast while the flow stays organized. Cartons stacked tight on the pallet and corner protectors snap in place to keep every edge perfect. Clear shrink wrap spins around the load, sealing it firm while the plastic catches bright highlights. A shipping label prints, destination, Wig Wonderland, Las Vegas showroom. Barcode, crisp and readable. The forklift slides the wrapped pallet into the semi-truck. Daylight flooding the dock past safety cones. The metal doors swing shut, and the heavy latch locks down with a solid, secure finish. Inside the cab, the engine starts. Dashboard lights glow, and the whole truck vibrates to life. In Arizona golden hour, the semi glides past desert scenery, sun flare spilling warm light. A line of white trucks rolls together, sunset glow on the road with distant mountains ahead. Las Vegas lights appear far away, and the highway pulls straight forward into neon. The Wig Wonderland sign glows over wet pavement, reflections shimmering with a luxury feel. The glass door opens with a soft bell, neon colors sliding smoothly across the glass. Inside, mannequin heads line the wall with colorful wigs, spotlights making every shade pop. A stylist selects a long blonde unit from the display, lace edge clean, soft and natural. At the mirror, the customer sits calmly as the wig is placed gently and aligned at the hairline. The lace front is adjusted with a comb tail, and a natural part appears clean and smooth. The lace edge is trimmed with precision. Tiny cuts clean, so the front melts into skin. Soft curls are brushed out for volume, hair bouncing naturally with a bright glossy finish. The customer smiles, touches the hair, and her eyes brighten with real, relaxed confidence. She turns left and right in the mirror, and the hair moves freely, like it's truly hers. At checkout, a branded bag lands on the counter. A receipt prints, neon reflections glowing softly. She steps onto the Las Vegas street, confident stride, shopping bag in hand, city lights shining. She pauses under neon, hair shining perfectly. Soft lens flare blooms, and it fades to black. Thanks for watching. This is the art of wig making, from one strand to a flawless finish.
The ocean never rests, yet this map shows a way through. Today, we follow that hidden line. This is the giant that makes it possible. One machine, one mission, cutting forward under pressure. Down on the seabed, the scan confirms the path. Markers steady, protection ready, everything aligned. Storm, rock, heat, and pressure. This tunnel beat it all. Now, let's start our journey. Storm clouds hang low over New York Harbor. This is where America's biggest ships pass. Every day, no stopping. A white ferry slices through rough Boston water, pushing forward like it has a schedule no storm can break. On the windy San Francisco cliffs, she looks out and imagines a path under the waves, faster, safer, unstoppable. Long ago, Americans dreamed of traveling beneath the sea, lit by lantern glow, turning impossible into a plan. Early tunnel crews stood in chalk dust and darkness, proud and exhausted, building progress with pure grit. Then the sea fought back. Water explodes through stone, the tunnel floods, and the dream disappears into black. In Washington, leaders seal a bold agreement. 2 sides, 1 vision, 1 tunnel to connect the future. A red line draws across the Hudson corridor, revealing 3 tubes, 2 for trains, 1 for safety and service. In Newark, she shows the rock that matters. Water rolls off it, proving this layer can hold back the sea. The seabed is layered like a puzzle. 1 strong band to carve through. Danger above, sticky clay below. Stray too high, and water rushes in. Stray too low, and the machine bogs down. Precision is everything. Off Virginia Beach, engineers drilled deep cores from the sea, searching for the safest path to build. A controlled blast reshapes the coast, carving space for the tunnel's launch. Planned power, not chaos. Near San Diego, reclaimed land grows outward, forming a clean platform where the project can breathe. In Seattle, a giant concrete shaft drops into the earth, ready to swallow machines and make history. Near Los Angeles, a colossal TBM module rides the ocean like cargo from the future. In Detroit, the factory hums. Giant machines take shape piece by piece, built to dig through the unknown. The cutter head rises like a golden sun, steel teeth ready to chew stone beneath the sea. She touches the cold metal and smiles. This isn't a prop, it's the bite of progress. Underground, the head spins, rock pours back, and concrete rings lock in, 1 perfect circle at a time. Robotic arm swings a massive segment into place, sealing the tunnel tighter with every click. Open mode is faster in dry ground. Sealed mode holds pressure where water wants to win. Mud, sweat, and grit cover his face, but his eyes say the same thing. Keep going. She wipes steam from the machine and says it plainly. Inside here, heat reaches 50 degrees. You race through the service tunnel, lights strobing overhead, the world turning into a fast white blur. Shotcrete sprays the roof, coating raw stone and armor, turning fragile ground into a stable shell. In the dark, she finds a wet patch. Small signs that the sea never stops testing you. A crack spits water hard, and the crew answers instantly. Drill, inject, seal, and hold the line. Alarms flash as water rises, but the team stays calm. Move gear, protect roots, control the danger. A red laser cuts through mist, drawing a straight promise down the tunnel's heart. She checks the theodolite. Numbers shift, then settle, and the path stays true. Inside the TBM, a gyroscope spins like a compass, keeping the machine locked on course. Hands steady on the controls. Green screens glow. Tiny corrections now prevent big disasters later. Wagons loaded with spoil roll out fast, hauling the tunnel's progress to the surface. Near Seattle, pale rock reshapes the shoreline, turning excavation into new land and new space. Inside the rail tube, a giant gantry glides forward, installing systems with smooth, heavy precision. The cutaway shows the difference clearly. 1 small service tube and 2 wide rail tunnels beside it. Track goes down piece by piece, measured twice, tightened once, built to run straight forever. The counter drops towards 0. The room goes quiet. This is the moment everyone waits for. The drill breaks through, light bursts in, dust blasts out, and the 2 sides finally meet. Through a small opening, 2 workers clasp hands, and the tunnel becomes 1 shared victory. The wall opens wider, and cheers fill the space. WAP flags wave. Relief hits like air. She points upward and says it. Every risk, every night, every delay, it paid off. Then TBM descends into a deep shaft, sealed away like a buried monument to the work. A brass plaque catches the flashlight, proof that a giant machine rests here forever. Sparks fly as the TBM is cut apart carefully, lifted out piece by piece, and hauled home. Time speeds up as the empty tube transforms, pipes, cables, walkways, turning concrete into a living system. Ventilation fans spin hard, pushing fresh air where humans and machines must survive. She taps the control panel. Airflow, pressure, sensors, everything must balance perfectly all the time. Thick black cables unroll like giant ropes. clipped neatly into place for power and control. A maintenance train installs overhead equipment with quiet accuracy, building the tunnel's electric spine. A robotic welder fuses rail to rail, sparks bright, and the seam cools smooth and strong. She looks up and warns calmly, high voltage lives above and it demands respect. A heavy exit sign goes up above a blast-proof door. Safe routes are built, not hoped for. A train pushes air like a moving wall, and relief ducts open to keep pressure under control. Red fire pipes stretch into the distance, ready to fight heat, smoke, and the worst days. A big valve turns, the gauge rises, and the safety system comes alive with pressure. Emergency lights click on bright, turning fear into visibility, turning darkness into direction. The first test run rolls forward slowly, passing work engines like a salute to the builders. Engineers wire the box with steady hands, testing circuits until every reading is clean. A chart climbs fast, costs rise, plans stretch, and the tunnel demands more than anyone expected. From above, the terminal spreads wide, rails, platforms, and concrete designed for a moving city. She walks through silent toll lanes and says it. This place was built like a city for cars. Cars drive into the shuttle, parking in a bright corridor that feels like a moving garage. Inside the wagon, she relaxes with coffee, proof that the hardest work becomes normal travel. At the ribbon line, leaders open the route, and the crowd cheers for a new era. The train glides through the welcome banner, and the tunnel officially becomes a working reality. Smoke pours near the portal, sirens flash, and responders hold the line without panic. The animation shows the escape plan working. People move safely into the clean service tunnel. She stands near the damaged carriage and says it clearly. Systems worked, and lives stayed protected. A modern train crosses open country under blue sky, showing the journey doesn't end underground. She walks down a bright corridor, turns back, and invites you forward. Next generation is here. Sunrise. The New York portal glows, and engineers study the route like a final promise. Steel rings sit stacked in Newark, shining clean, each one a future piece of the tunnel's body. In Philadelphia, gaskets are tested and flexed, small parts that decide whether water stays out. In Boston, a sensor sinks in a tank, and pressure numbers climb like ocean depth. A clear cutaway shows pressure pushing inward, and the lining resisting evenly, calm and strong. Barges align off Long Island, carrying rings in perfect order, like a floating assembly line. In the launch chamber, the TBM waits centered, ready to bite, ready to build, ready to move. The cutter head turns, stone breaks, and the tunnel begins to exist 1 meter at a time. Spoil pours into sealed containers, clean handling, clean logistics, no chaos. She points to the rock mix changing. Each texture tells where the machine is digging. Band and warning glows fade when alignment returns. Grout mixes smooth and steady, feeding hoses that will seal weak ground before it fails. A technician connects the hose, pressure rises, and the wet patch dries into stability. Outside under the sea, ROV lights scan the route, watching the world above the tunnel. In Manhattan, progress screens tick down, every meter earned, every problem tracked. The segment counter jumps by 1, and the control room smiles at another clean milestone. A segment arrives, lifts, rotates, locks, precision so perfect it looks effortless. Bolts tighten to exact torque, and the ring becomes a sealed circle that won't forgive mistakes. Water drains through a managed channel, pumps steady and green, keeping the tunnel calm and dry. In Jersey City rain, portal lights reflect on wet pavement. Night shift begins without hesitation. Inside, LEDs stretch into the distance, and the tunnel feels endless. Bright and alive. A tag scans, a green check appears, every segment is traceable, every piece accounted for. In Pittsburgh, molten steel pours glowing hot, becoming the strength that will hold back the sea. Robots stack fresh rebar as steam rises, raw power shaped into clean order. In Cleveland, molds open and perfect segments emerge, smooth and bright like finished sculpture. A vibration table hums, Bubbles vanish and the surface becomes flawless under strict control. Rows of segments cure in warm humidity, sensors watching every detail like a heartbeat monitor. A laser scan maps the segment in blue grids, millimeter accuracy, no excuses. Frames lock and straps tighten, built to protect each segment through every mile of travel. In Baltimore, cranes load sealed containers and tunnel parts with choreographed precision. Inside the service tube, lights dim, backups glow instantly, proof the tunnel plans ahead. Jacket reads low smoke, and hands confirm the markings like a checklist of safety. A cross-passage door opens, closes, seals, then the indicator turns green, calm, and ready. A speaker test tone echoes cleanly, and the crew nods. Communication is alive underground. Ventilation hums steady, and a paper strip flutters, showing airflow moving the right way. A camera pans, the monitor stays sharp, watching everything, all the time. In the pump room, pipes shine, water flows controlled, and green lights say it's stable. Thermal imaging shows even temperatures, and a hotspot disappears after one clean adjustment. Crew paints reflective markings bright and straight, guiding vehicles like a runway inside stone. Rail fasteners click into place, tight and clean, turning track into a locked path. Behind safety glass, transformers sit steady, blue lights glowing like a quiet engine room. A slow test train rolls over a weld with no shake, no noise, smooth success. She points at the diagram. 2 rail tubes, 1 service tube, built for speed and safety together. Above the seabed, marine life drifts calmly, and a faint route overlay shows the tunnel's path. The portal exterior is polished, shining like new, ready for the world to arrive. A full-length systems check pulses green down the entire route, section by section. Perfect. At the press event, applause rises, quiet pride for a massive job done right. Cars line up smoothly, signs clear, people calm. This is infrastructure made for everyday life. Inside the shuttle, lights glow bright, doors close softly, and the ride feels secure. She walks past emergency niches, pointing to green status lights, safety built into every step. The camera glides toward the bright exit, and the message lands, the future moves underwater. Thank you for coming with us through the world's longest underwater tunnel. See you on the next journey.
These old tires look like waste at first glance, but this is exactly where their second life begins. This tire has already lived one long life on the road. Now watch closely as it is reborn from scratch. What looks like destruction is actually controlled precision. Every spark here is part of transformation. From scrap piles to engineered strength, this is how old tires quietly become brand new again. As the sun rises, a massive scrapyard slowly comes to life, covered in soft golden light. Morning mist lifts gently, revealing endless rows of old tires waiting for a new beginning. A drone glides smoothly between towering stacks of discarded tires, showing their scale and history. Birds pass briefly through the frame, adding life to an otherwise silent industrial landscape. At ground level, cracked and weathered tires hold small pools of rainwater. Reflections shimmer quietly, symbolizing years of use and abandonment. The camera pans slowly across faded brands and worn treads. Dust floats in sunlight, capturing the calm before machines take control. A deep mechanical roar breaks the silence as heavy machinery ignites. The recycling process powers up, ready to transform waste into value. A hydraulic arm extends toward a towering pile of tires. Metal joints move smoothly as morning light reflects off worn yellow paint. The excavator claw closes tightly around multiple tires. Rubber compresses under force, showing strength that still remains. Lifted high into the air, the tires dangle and sway gently. Their weight is felt clearly, suspended between past use and future purpose. The tires crash into a steel hopper below. Dust and debris explode upward, marking the start of transformation. As the dust settles, calm returns briefly to the scene. This moment bridges impact and controlled motion. The conveyor belt activates slowly and steadily. Tires begin their journey deeper into the recycling system. From the side, worn tires roll unevenly along the belt. Their imperfect shapes tell stories of long roads traveled. Workers step into frame wearing helmets and bright safety vests. Human presence brings scale, care, and judgment into the process. Gloved hands pull wooden planks from between moving tires. Grime and texture highlight the reality of industrial work. Plastic debris is removed and tossed aside. Clean separation ensures only rubber continues forward. Inside the factory, multiple conveyor belts intersect seamlessly. The entire system moves like a carefully choreographed machine. A rotating tire approaches the sidewall cutting station. Red safety lights glow softly, building tension. The circular saw spins up rapidly. Its blurred blade hints at precision and power. The blade slices cleanly through the tire's sidewall. Rubber curls away smoothly with controlled force. The cut sidewall drops onto a scrap pile below. This separation marks another step forward. The tire rotates toward the bead removal unit. Steel reinforcement becomes exposed steel wire vibrates and glistens in the light. Raw material stands revealed against black rubber. The remaining tire carcass drops onto the next conveyor. Motion continues without interruption. Massive shredder teeth rotate slowly in close-up. Oil-coated steel gleams, waiting for engagement. Rubber feeds into the dark mouth of the shredder. The atmosphere turns intense and industrial. The teeth bite aggressively into rubber. Chunks tear away under controlled destruction. Hidden metal wires strike steel, sending sparks flying. Brief flashes of orange light punctuate the darkness. Shredded rubber pieces eject outward violently. Energy fills the frame. Steel wires fall into the collection bin below, clattering together slowly. Each piece settles into a growing pile, ready for its own journey of reuse. A massive hydraulic press descends toward the loose steel wires. Pressure builds gradually, controlled and deliberate. The metal compresses tightly under immense force. Loose strands transform into a dense, solid steel cube. The granulator chamber opens briefly, revealing spinning blades inside. Speed and precision combine in a glimpse of controlled power. Rubber chunks drop into the granulator. Motion blur and sharp edges balance energy with clarity. Smaller rubber granules emerge from the machine. Uniform size signals successful transformation. Granules flow onto a vibrating mesh table. A rhythmic bouncing pattern begins instantly. Fine dust falls cleanly through the metal mesh. Unwanted particles are removed efficiently. A strong air jet blasts across the moving granules. Lightweight fibers lift gracefully into the air. White fibers float briefly before being collected. Cleanliness improves with every step. Pure black rubber granules continue forward smoothly. The flow remains uninterrupted and controlled. Granules enter the cryogenic tunnel entrance. Cold vapor spills outward dramatically. Inside the tunnel, extreme cold fills the space. Frost swirls around the moving conveyor belt. Crystalline ice patterns appear in sharp detail. Liquid nitrogen sprays directly onto the rubber. Explosive clouds of steam rise instantly. The frozen rubber becomes brittle under the intense cold. Microscopic cracks begin forming across its surface. A hammer mill strikes the frozen rubber forcefully. The material shatters into fine particles mid-air. In slow motion, black fragments explode outward. Energy fills the frame dramatically. The powder settles into a controlled stream. Chaos resolves back into order. Stainless steel pipes surrounding the system are coated in thick ice. The cold environment dominates the frame. A sifting machine rotates gently and continuously. Ultra-fine powder separates with precision. Black rubber powder flows evenly through the circular sieve. The motion appears smooth and hypnotic. A robotic lab arm approaches the sample port. Sterile precision defines every movement. The robotic scoop lifts a measured amount of powder. Material is placed carefully into a silver container. The transparent tube system activates instantly. Powder rushes through at high speed. Inside the tubes, particles collide with the walls. Glowing highlights enhance the sense of motion. The blue additive feeder begins rotating steadily. Vibrant color signals the next stage. Blue powder drops into the black rubber stream. The contrast is visually striking. Liquid oil injects through clear hoses smoothly. Viscous flow bends light realistically. The mixing chamber fills with combined materials. Density increases visibly with each rotation. From above, massive sigma blades fold the compound repeatedly. Thick material moves slowly but powerfully. The rubber mass changes color and texture gradually. Transformation becomes clearly visible. As temperature rises, steam begins to form. Heat buildup is unmistakable. The mixer lid opens suddenly. A thick cloud of steam bursts outward dramatically. Hot rubber compound drops heavily onto the conveyor belt. The material stretches under gravity. The surface of the rubber glistens with heat. A subtle shimmer reflects its temperature. The extruder pushes the rubber forward steadily. Pressure and force are implied through motion. Smooth rubber strands emerge in a continuous flow. Uniformity remains consistent. Underwater cutters slice the strands cleanly into pellets. Bubbles explode outward with each cut. Fresh pellets sink briefly, then begin to float. Water dynamics remain realistic. Pellets bounce energetically onto the dryer shaker. Droplets fly off in every direction. Dry pellets form a neat, controlled stream. Moisture has been fully removed. A green laser scans the moving pellets methodically. Quality control is verified in real time. The robotic bag filling station engages smoothly. A large white bag opens into position. Pellets pour continuously into the bag. The container slowly expands under growing weight. The bag sealing mechanism closes cleanly. Final containment is completed securely. A dense rubber bale moves toward the cutting station. Its mass dominates the frame. A hydraulic guillotine slices through the bale perfectly. A clean cross-section is revealed. Freshly cut rubber edges release visible steam. Heat remains trapped inside. An internal mixer releases another hot rubber batch. Thick smoke rises dramatically. Rubber feeds into the rolling mill. Heavy material enters steel rollers. Gradually, the rubber flattens into a glossy sheet. Thickness becomes uniform and smooth. Yellow sulfur powder is tossed onto the sheet. Swirling patterns form instantly. Rolling pressure blends sulfur into the rubber. The yellow color fades back into black. Long rubber strips hang from festoon rocks. Gentle up and down motion allows cooling. The strips sway slightly with factory airflow. Cooling happens evenly and naturally. A tread-forming machine extrudes patterned rubber. Grooves appear sharp, deep, and precise. The bead winding machine spins steel wire into a flawless circle. Fresh material continues the cycle of transformation. The fabric liner unrolls smoothly from a new angle, its tension perfectly controlled. Every movement ensures accuracy before the tire takes shape. Rubberized fabric layers tightly around the rotating drum. No air gaps remain, creating a flawless inner foundation. A robotic arm glides across the surface with a roller. This final touch smooths the liner to exact precision. Steel bead rings are placed carefully along the carcass edges. Perfect alignment is critical at this stage. Sidewall rubber strips feed in from above in synchronized motion. Each strip settles exactly where it belongs. Rollers press the sidewalls firmly into place. The tire structure visibly strengthens with each pass. A transfer ring lifts the tread band slowly into position. Suspense builds as alignment approaches. The tread lowers gently onto the carcass. It centers perfectly, completing the assembly. The completed green tire begins rotating slowly. Its smooth, uncured surface glows under factory lights. A robotic gripper secures the green tire carefully. It prepares the tire for the curing process ahead. The interior of the curing mold is revealed briefly. Textured metal walls hint at final shaping. The green tire is positioned precisely inside the mold. No misalignment is visible before closure. An inflatable bladder expands steadily within the tire. Rubber presses outward uniformly against the mold. Steam pressure rises inside the sealed chamber. Subtle vibrations ripple through the metal shell. The mold locking mechanism engages firmly. A deep mechanical sound signals finality. Steam escapes through small vents along the mold. The curing process is now fully underway. The mold begins to open slowly. Tension builds toward the final reveal. A finished tire emerges, steam rolling off its surface. Reborn from the old, the transformation is complete. Thank you for watching this journey from worn-out tires to new strength. Your time and attention complete the story of transformation. In this quiet moment of comfort, cool air surrounds the room, calming the senses. But every peaceful breath begins long before it reaches home. That gentle air transforms into motion, energy, and purpose. Comfort fades into creation as precision awakens and engineering takes shape. Behind every perfect breeze lies a world of machines, discipline, and innovation. As dawn rises over Hanoi, the city breathes quietly. Beyond the mist, a place of innovation awakens, ready to transform engineering into everyday comfort. From above, the factory reveals its purpose: clean design, sustainable systems, and architecture built to support precision without compromise. As the gates open, a perfectly timed operation begins, where every second matters and every process follows disciplined order. The day starts in motion as skilled workers arrive, bringing experience, focus, and pride into the heart of manufacturing. Each synchronized step forward reflects teamwork, discipline, and the shared responsibility of creating something exceptional. Inside, preparation unfolds calmly, where organization and readiness set the foundation for precision work ahead. Every glove worn signals care and responsibility, protecting both the product and the hands that shape it. Each step onto the factory floor marks the beginning of exact craftsmanship, grounded in safety and discipline. This emblem stands for decades of trust, innovation, and engineering excellence recognized across the world. the mission of the day becomes clear, guided by data, planning, and an unwavering commitment to quality. Leadership sets direction with confidence, ensuring clarity, focus, and consistency. As the gates open, a perfectly timed operation begins, where every second matters and every process follows disciplined order. The day starts in motion as skilled workers arrive, bringing experience, focus, and pride into the heart of manufacturing. Each synchronized step forward reflects teamwork, discipline, and the shared responsibility of creating something exceptional. Inside, preparation unfolds calmly, where organization and readiness set the foundation for precision work ahead. Every glove worn signals care and responsibility, protecting both the product and the hands that shape it. Each step onto the factory floor marks the beginning of exact craftsmanship, grounded in safety and discipline. This emblem stands for decades of trust, innovation, and engineering excellence recognized across the world. The mission of the day becomes clear, guided by data, planning, and an unwavering commitment to quality. Leadership sets direction with confidence, ensuring clarity, focus, and consistency across every operation. With controlled pressure, the hydraulic clamp closes firmly. A brief release of steam signals precision, power, and absolute control in motion. Time slows as the mold opens, revealing a pristine white air conditioner casing. Form and function emerge together for the very first time. A robotic arm lifts the casing gently, servo motors humming softly. Automation handles every detail with care and consistency. Freshly molded parts rest on the cooling rack as faint steam fades away. Strength and stability settle naturally into shape. The camera glides across the smooth casing surface, flawless and refined. Every curve reflects controlled engineering and premium finish. Indoor grills emerge carefully from the mold, airflow channels shaped with purpose. Design and performance are built into every detail. Up close, fan blades reveal aerodynamic precision. Each edge is engineered to move air efficiently and silently. A skilled worker trims excess material with steady focus. Human craftsmanship perfects what machines begin. Dust particles drift away in slow motion, leaving clean, sharp edges behind. Perfection is refined, not rushed. Finished plastic components align neatly on the trolley. Order and precision prepare them for the next stage. The mold opens again to reveal the long cross-flow fan. Balance and airflow efficiency begin taking form. The camera moves smoothly along the fan's length, highlighting consistent blade angles, uniformity, Pure copper reflects the factory lights, revealing its flawless surface. Purity here is essential because performance depends on what lies within. With rhythmic precision, the hairpin bending machine shapes copper tubes rapidly. Speed and accuracy work together without hesitation. Perfect U-shaped tubes stack neatly, identical in form. Uniformity ensures consistent performance across every single unit. Thin aluminum fins align with razor-sharp precision. Every layer is positioned to maximize heat transfer efficiency. Copper tubes slide smoothly through the aluminum fins in slow motion. Surgical accuracy locks performance into place. The expansion machine enters each copper tube with controlled force. Engineering secures every connection from the inside. The tubes expand tightly against the fins, forming a single solid structure. Strength and efficiency become inseparable. Robotic brazing arms position their flames with exact precision. Heat is applied only where perfection demands it. Silver solder melts smoothly around each joint, flowing evenly. Seals form strong, clean, and permanent. As joints cool, connections solidify flawlessly. Reliability is built into every sealed pathway. Pressurized air tests each coil carefully. Calm surfaces confirm there are no leaks, no weaknesses. An experienced inspector nods in approval. Quality is recognized instantly, without words. The conveyor begins moving as indoor unit assembly starts. The base frame takes its first position. Careful alignment ensures the base fits perfectly on the jig. Precision now defines every following step. The motor is installed into the chassis, screws tightened evenly. Smooth power delivery begins here. The cross-flow fan is mounted gently into place. Balanced airflow becomes part of the structure. A torque-controlled screwdriver secures fastenings precisely. Strength is applied without stress or damage. The heat exchanger is lifted carefully and aligned above the fan. Cooling performance takes its rightful place. The coil settles perfectly, seamless and balanced. Engineering harmony is achieved inside the unit. At the PCB workstation, anti-static protection surrounds delicate electronics. Intelligence is ready to be installed. Technicians connect wires methodically, following clear, color-coded paths. Control and responsiveness take shape. Sensor cables are routed cleanly and organized precisely. Reliability depends on order and clarity. The front casing is positioned carefully above the unit. Design prepares to enclose performance. The casing snaps into place smoothly, sealing perfectly. Form and function unite in one motion. A clear click signals completion. The indoor unit is fully assembled. High-voltage safety probes connect carefully to the system. Electrical integrity is tested without compromise. Digital screens display stable readings across all parameters. Safety and performance are confirmed. An inspector marks the checklist with confidence. Approval moves the unit forward. Steel sheets feed steadily into the stamping press. Raw strength prepares to become protection. The massive press descends in slow motion, shaping metal with immense force. Durability is forged here. A flawless steel casing emerges, perfectly formed. Strength now has structure. In the paint line, casings hang suspended and move forward. Protection meets refinement. Robotic spray arms coat each surface evenly in white. Coverage is smooth, consistent, and precise. Under warm lights, fresh paint cures evenly. Finish and durability are sealed together. A heavy compressor is lifted slowly by a hoist. This is the heart of cooling power. The compressor is placed precisely on the base plate. Balance and stability are essential here. Mounting bolts tighten firmly as vibration isolation becomes visible. Quiet performance is engineered at the core. The large propeller fan is installed carefully, blades perfectly balanced. Air movement takes form. The central nut is torqued securely. Stability is locked into motion. Soundproofing material wraps around the compressor completely. Silence is designed, not accidental. The outdoor unit enclosure closes smoothly around the system. Protection is complete. Finished outdoor units align perfectly on the conveyor. Consistency defines large-scale excellence. Engineers connect refrigerant hoses carefully as gauges begin to move. Preparation meets precision. Refrigerant gas fills the system steadily and under control. Performance is charged with accuracy. Leak detectors scan every copper joint. Silence confirms absolute sealing success. The start button is pressed, anticipation rising. The system prepares to prove itself. The indoor unit powers on smoothly as the display lights glow. A quiet hum signals the beginning of controlled, reliable comfort. The louvers open gracefully in perfect sync, directing airflow with precision and effortless mechanical harmony. A ribbon tied to the vent lifts straight outward, clearly revealing strong, steady, and balanced airflow performance. Thermal imaging reveals evenly distributed cooling across the surface. Performance is not guessed, it is measured and proven. The computer screen confirms full capability, showing 100% efficiency achieved without compromise or fluctuation. The environmental chamber door seals shut, simulating extreme heat conditions that push performance beyond everyday expectations. Inside the chamber, the system runs flawlessly, maintaining stability and comfort even under harsh, demanding conditions. Robotic arms carefully place protective foam guards around the unit, preparing precision engineering for safe travel. A sturdy cardboard box slides smoothly over the unit, fitting snugly to protect every detail inside. Automatic strapping machines seal the box tightly, securing performance for the journey ahead. A Daikin label is applied cleanly and proudly, marking identity, trust, and engineering excellence. A barcode scanner beeps in confirmation, signaling that the unit is logged, tracked, and ready for delivery. Autonomous guided vehicles carry pallets through warehouse aisles, moving quietly and efficiently without interruption. From above, the warehouse reveals perfect organization, where thousands of units wait in structured readiness. A forklift lifts the pallet smoothly into the truck, coordination and care guiding every movement. Truck doors close securely as final checks are completed, sealing confidence inside every shipment. The truck rolls out from the loading dock, bathed in warm evening light, beginning its outward journey. Beyond the gates, the truck exits the factory grounds as the sun sets, marking completion of the process. From behind, the vehicle drives toward the horizon, carrying engineered comfort to homes everywhere. Glowing words fade in with quiet confidence. Engineered for life, designed for comfort. Inside the showroom, comfort meets choice. Bright displays and trusted design guide families toward a cooler, better living experience. At the counter, the decision becomes real. A promise of comfort is sealed, shared through smiles and quiet excitement. The journey continues home, carried with care. What was chosen with trust now arrives, ready to become part of everyday life. Installation begins with precision and confidence. Every tool, every movement ensures comfort is placed perfectly where it belongs. With a gentle hum, cool air fills the room. Smiles settle in, comfort. In this calm moment of comfort, thank you for watching, and thank you for trusting Daikin Air Conditioner to perfect your everyday living.